So, Nana posted a response video. Normally, at this time, I would probably try and summarize it. I don't really know how to summarize it, but I think I can try. So, basically...
The toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.
So, Nana, or LPS GoGo, is the founder and CEO of LpsCon. If you need a little reminder, LpsCon is a convention for littlest pet shops, littlest pet shop lovers, etc, etc. And recently, this year's LpsCon did not go well and was actually really, really dangerous and awful. So, a lot of people have been speaking up about it and sharing their experiences. And LpsCon did not respond in the greatest way on Instagram, so, yep. If you need more information, I made a video about this a few days ago, so you can go check that out. There are also plenty of stories from other creators on what happened, so if you want more information, go look at that. This video is specifically in response to Nana's video. I sat down, and I opened my laptop, and I watched the whole thing, and it wasn't good, guys. It wasn't good. I think there were some good points made, but we'll get to that later. For right now, let's get into the format. So, first of all, the first 13 minutes didn't even, go over what happened at LpsCon. It was basically just her being like, oh yeah, I was a 13-year-old CEO, I'm the youngest CEO in the world, woo! This is so cool, LpsCon is such awesome, and then talking about, her road to being a CEO and stuff like that. The first 13 minutes did not address anything that, the LPS community, cares about right now.
To put a positive spin on that and be like, hey, you know what? There have been blips along the way of my journey of being a business owner, and that's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad to mess up. What is bad is your reaction about it and how you go about fixing your mistakes and how you go about, what did you learn, right? And
basically, the first starting 13 minutes are her going back and forth between saying, yeah, some bad stuff happened at LpsCon. I'm the CEO, so things happen. Everything's okay. LpsCon is my baby. Nothing happened. It's all good. I'm learning from my mistake. Everyone should forget about this. This account is going to be revamped. Finally, at 13 minutes and 21 seconds, she finally starts talking about LpsCon and what happened.
this is the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, and if that means I have to mention certain things that did happen and why it happened, that's what it's gonna be.
Alright, Nana. Looks like we're on the same boat here. She started off the LpsCon talk by mentioning how she does VIPs, and this situation I really do not know anything about, so I would suggest doing your own research on it. I do not know, and I don't want to spread false information that I'm not 100% certain of. So, we're going to move on to her next point.
LpsCon in person again in 2021, and that was at, we did accommodate for COVID, so we had the event back outside and we limited the number, like we stopped ticket sales, we weren't hosting like 900 people again, we only had 200 attendees.
Oh, you know what? That's good for them. Oh, I'm actually so glad that they were being responsible for COVID. Oh.
This is the truth. To start at 8 a.m. and have that long line because it wasn't as hot. It's not as hot at 7 a.m. in the morning. It is blistering hot at 10 a.m. in the morning. I literally told everybody on the team, get your scanners, get your phone, get people out of that line, shuttle them in. I understand like other events, you know, like Comic-Con and stuff like that, they do have like lines outside. It's kind of inevitable when you host like an event that big, you're gonna have lines, but I really do love the difference between LpsCon and other events is we do a really good job of shuffling people in. Our lines take like 30 minutes. By 11:30, everybody's inside the building.
Wrong again, Nana! First of all, I was in the line, I had the content creator pass, and so I was in the early line. It took more than 40 minutes for us to even get halfway through the line. Ugh. And then, I think one of the reasons that you could shuttle people in so fast is because security didn't check bags. There was no bag check. They opened my messenger bag, see a giant water bottle sitting on top, close it, and then let me walk through. They didn't even ask to check the tackle box that I was carrying. That doesn't seem very safe to me! But hey, I mean, whatever gets people in fast, right?
The aspect that I've been doing, I usually go on stage and I get a microphone and I announce things.
When you weren't on the stage, you were just gone. You were poof. No one knew where you were. People were looking for you. But you were just...
I am too hands-on as a CEO. I couldn't handle or attend to so many problems because I was doing hosting, I was doing things, I was all over the place.
Did y'all hear that list? There was hosting, there was doing other things. She was just so busy. She couldn't go to the people who fainted. She goes back to that a lot as she's talking about like a bunch of different other things, that she was really busy, but she never gives any other examples besides announcing and hosting things. So now I'm not denying that hosting an event is a lot of hard work. Like, I completely understand how difficult it can be to run this event, especially one this huge, but no one ever saw her around the con to help. I saw multiple family members, friends, security. I only saw her once when she told me to get off the stage.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
And when she was announcing things like the raffle winnings. I didn't see her really anywhere else. I literally don't think I saw her once, unless she was standing on the stage or when she told me to get off the stage. Afterwards, she does describe how she's going to change that behavior and be more hands-on in the future. I don't know if I believe that based off of conversations she's had with other people in the past about changing this behavior, but you know, there's hope that this time will be different.
We had people faint at the event, not gonna hide that. We had 5 people, we had 5 faints at the event. That was my first time ever dealing with fainting.
See, I don't think you should have dealt with it in the moment. I think there should have been an on-site medical team, or at least someone that you could call for emergency situations like this, that would have come in a hurry to help the people who had fainted, so that, you know, people without a medical degree don't have to deal with it. Just a thought.
In big crowds, that was an oversight I had because I wasn't accommodating for everybody, that people get anxiety in big crowds. People were overheating the food truck line. I mean, that was the first time I've ever implemented food trucks. And do I like the idea of food trucks? I still do.
What?
The only thing that was again an oversight and bad mistake was that I didn't have shade. And I realized that too in the moment. I was like, what? Why did I not think about that? So I did build, and people were out there waiting in like excruciating temperatures, and I had no idea, and that is such a bad oversight. It cannot happen again, and it will not happen again. I'm very sorry for that. If we do food trucks again, we're gonna make sure that the lines have shade.
Or, and hear me out with this one, we don't do food trucks. I don't think she realizes that the food trucks, the issue wasn't just the heat. Like, that was a huge issue that should have been taken care of, but that was not the only thing people had issues with. There were only 2 food trucks. Only 2, did not cover for the amount of people, so if you're going to do food trucks again, maybe do more than 2. People's like food sensitivities. Like, people have food sensitivities. Like, rice and drinks that are over expensive and don't have enough stock for 1,000 to 2,000 people. Maybe not the greatest plan. Just could be me.
There's misinformation that water was sold for $8 each. Why would water, sorry, I'm like, where does that come from? Water was not sold at the event for $8. That is crazy. That's like a scam and ridiculous. Water was sold for $1.
It depended who you asked. If you asked one staff member, they would be like, oh yeah, the water's 50 cents. If you would ask another staff member, they'd be like, yeah, the water's $8. If you would ask another staff member, they'd be like, yeah, the water's $1. It really just depended who you asked.
And there's also water fountains at meet everywhere you go. So we have water fountains in the back and on every single level.
Someone who went to every single level and checked out literally every single corner of the convention to try and find somewhere quiet, there were in fact not water fountains that I could see. And granted, I could have missed them, but we don't even know what these water fountains look like. There were no signs. I think signs would have made it much better. We didn't know if these were like the elementary school water fountains where you had to be like out of the thing like a hamster, or if they had like automatic water bottle refills. Also, if you weren't allowed to take outside food or drink, how are you supposed to fill up your water bottle with this supposed free water? Do we have to buy a water bottle from you first? And for a convention that has over 1,000 people, What makes you think doing the little hamster water is a good plan for sickness? Like, if you're so concerned about sickness, don't you think that it's not a great idea? Don't get me wrong, hamster water is better than no water and fainting. I just think maybe this problem could have been solved by giving out free water to begin with.
But we were still, of course, selling bottles of water. But when we heard that people were fainting, that's when, I was discussing with the venue. I was like, let's cut a loss with the water. Water is now free for everybody, and let's just get water stations.
That is so amazing of you. Oh my god, I can't even believe that's so... You are such a good person. Was this before or after the 5th person fainted? Because I don't personally remember water being free until you were calling out for the raffle.
Especially like my brother as well, like I have to really throw out like big kudos to him.
The same brother that tried to fight someone, or
helping people, getting water to everyone, like that situation could have been a lot worse, but it was diffused and
5 people fainted! Would you look at all those pretty ribbons? Nana goes on to talk about how her family is getting harassed and stalked on social media and stuff like that. Don't do that. It's rude. It's just rude. It's rude. Don't do it. But most of the things I've seen come out have just been public information. So, I mean, if you're just calling out bad behavior, keep doing that. If you're being creepy and rude, don't do that. There was then a less than 30-second long explanation on overcrowding. And then there's the VIP compensation talk that I don't know anything about, so we're skipping over that. And next up is... She goes on to talk about a situation with a popular content creator, Music Girl Pro. I'm going to ask Music Girl Pro if I can share her story. I don't feel comfortable doing that without her permission, so we're going to skip over that for now, and then if I am given permission, I will make a part 3 of this video. Next!
Preference and say nothing's ever been stolen at LpsCon by the LpsCon team. First of all, if you've been to any LPS event, you've
seen me literally running up and down the... I don't have time to be stealing like that, bros. I don't have time.
like, things do get recycled and put back into our inventory. So that could have been like an oversight on my part where I didn't notice that certain...
LPS Howling Wolf ended up having customs taken from them and then resold at the official LpsCon booth. What?
In terms of like communication, like if anybody loses something from LpsCon, I didn't receive any like emails or DMs. Like maybe my social media team back then did and I wasn't aware of it. I don't know, like maybe this person did DM me and say like they did miss or like lose LPS and they got recycled. Did have something that you felt was like in inventory, tell me in the moment or communicate to me and it's given right back to you.
About LPS being accessible, one of the biggest complaints I saw from 2024 was the no outside food policy. I'm not sure why this is arising. So we've always had very strict no outside food policy since 2018. And the reason that we've had that at all of our events because 2018 people were bringing outside food and they got sick, like somebody got sick. And that was a liability for the venue. Like the venue had big liability and that cannot happen. And also, especially at meets, but at all...
This next point she brought up made me so mad. Like, broski toasty cinnamon crunch? What?
Hearing about is like the convention didn't have like enough seats. So I don't know if anybody has been to other conventions.
I have.
But like conventions, like they don't really have seats. We're the only event that actually does have seats, and that's just because of our training experience, because we have that.
What? No! Hi, coming from someone who has done many a convention in his days, of different conventions for different types of things. First example, we have Indiana Comic-Con. This year we had upwards of like 30,000 people attending, and there was enough floor space, like there weren't enough chairs, you're right. But there was enough floor space for a giant group to sit on the ground and play Uno, while people could easily walk around us without literally any struggle. This was Anime Crossroads 2024, and inside the convention center there was this drag show. Look at all those seats. Wow. Then there was this wrestling convention I went to. Wow! And on every edge of the little mat thing, there were chairs. Every edge was a square full of chairs, enough for a lot of people to sit and chill and watch, and this was like that in every single different room. And then the outside area of these conventions, bro. Mwah! Beautiful. Shade, seats, so much room. There's room for people to take pictures. There's room for people to walk. There's room for people to talk. There's room for a man to sacrifice people in a rubber chicken mask. So actually, I think LpsCon is the only place that doesn't have enough seating for their attendees. She goes on to talk about and defend herself with the raffle and stuff like that, with the raffle ticket prices. I thought that was stupid. You guys can watch that on your own time. This video is long enough. If you want a part 3, let me know. The whole apology bullshit, no. Every apology that was given was followed up with self-deprecating or defensiveness, so this video was, ugh. Anyhoozles, I hope you guys enjoyed the little debriefing that I could give. I recommend watching the whole video if you have the time. I hope you have a good day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and don't be like LpsCon. Don't go to LpsCon. It sucks.